Right. Having talked about what stage your LGU or your community is in, then the next question is, how do you actually now identify the cases in your community? And what do you actually do when you find these cases? No? So who goes where? Quickly lang, these are your current definitions. No? And dalawang level to in terms of your person under monitoring. No? In an LGU without sustained community level transmission, the PUM is defined as any person with history of travel from a country or area where there is a sustained community level of transmission. Example, case in point. See, Mayor Torn, sa area nyo ba meron na? May case na ba?
Wala pa po.
Wala pa. Okay. So ang PUM natin dito sa inyo is that anybody who is traveling to your LGU coming from Manila.
Yes, coming from Manila, coming from Zamboanga City, coming from Cagayan de Oro, those are considered PUM po. Automatic po yan.
Automatic. And we want them to be, recommendation natin sa kanila, to be home quarantined for 14 days upon arrival.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Doc. Actually, dito sa amin, Doc, yung lalo na pag Cagayan de Oro, yung bago lang na confirmed COVID areas, automatic po may designated quarantine area po kami. Ididiretso po namin doon. Oo. Hindi na po kami mag-home quarantine para sigurado. Diba?
It's a great mayor. Let's discuss more and then integrate later. But for the other LGUs na merong sustained community level transmission already, a PUM is defined as someone who has a known exposure. So like for example, in Metro Manila or possibly in Zamboanga, it's somebody na alam natin na exposed to somebody na providing care to a PUI or confirmed case. No? For example, ako po, actually, kakatapos ko lang ng quarantine ko kasi ako po ay tumingin ng isang pasyente na naging COVID positive at namatay. Wala po akong sintomas, so technically, I'm person under monitoring, but I still needed to do a self-quarantine. And also direct contact with PUI and confirmed case. No? Also a face-to-face contact with the PUI or confirmed case within 1 meter and for more than 15 minutes. So ito yung PUM definition for those community level na may community level. Okay. PUI is defined as somebody na may known exposure, a PUM, pero nag-manifest na ng symptoms. No? Ng acute respiratory infection. Whether may fever man o wala. Okay? So ano yung mga sintomas na yan? Cough, cold, sore throat, body malaise, fatigue. No? At kasama yung ating tatawag na SARI at ILI. Ngayon, sino nga ba ang tanong natin, sino ang kailangan ilagay sa isang COVID or COVID center? No? Ligtas COVID center, no? Or quarantine or isolation area. No? Ito po yung tatlo. Sabi natin, a PUM na hindi kayang mag-self-isolate sa bahay. No? At walang a PUI na may mild symptoms at hindi rin kayang mag-self-isolate sa bahay. No? Pero PUI with mild symptoms na walang comorbidity at hindi greater than 60 years old. Okay? And also a confirmed case na may mild symptoms na wala ring comorbidity at hindi rin more than 60 years old. Kasi gusto natin, ito yung mga tao actually na kaya nilang alagaan pa yung sarili nila. Hindi kailangan ma-hospital. No? But you want to isolate them para hindi na magkaroon ng possibility for them to spread the virus to other people. Okay? Sige. Ngayon, dito pinag-usapan natin yung tungkol sa self-isolating sa house, no? Home quarantine. Ang definition lang natin ng home quarantine ay yung kailangan lahat ng miyembro ng household hindi lalabas for 14 days. Okay. So pag hindi kaya, pero at ang self-isolation ay yung isang taong yon ay kayang mo ilagay sa isang separate na room or yung area sa bahay, no, for the whole duration of the 14 days. Pag hindi kaya yon, then we are recommending that that person be moved to a community-based facility. Okay? Again, so ito pong dalawang box dito is basically just to explain the purpose of admission in an isolation unit. For PUM, it's for monitoring of development of symptoms. And for PUI, for symptomatic treatment of symptoms while at waiting test and or pagbabantay rin na hindi sila mag-deteriorate. Right? Paano natin malalaman kung ang isang bahay ay kaya mag-self-isolate, no? Or you can do a home quarantine? Ito po yung mga listahan namin sinasuggest or recommend. No? So, should be that the household is not living with a vulnerable population unless may separate kwarto siya at banyo. Separate bedroom or separate bed with enough distance of more than 1 meter or 3 feet. Accessible bathroom, no? Well ventilated, separate utensils and personal things. Facilities for hand washing with separate towels. No? Pag hindi ito kaya po, then that person should be put into or should be admitted in a community-based facility or ligtas COVID facility. Okay? Right. So sa community, ito po yung ina-advise namin na gawin, no? Para pag community level transmission po na, that you be here to do your active case finding, no? By setting up a hotline and so on and so forth. Right. Okay. So pinag-usapan ho natin kung anong dapat paghandaan ng LGU, sino-sino po dapat ang i-isolate natin or i-quarantine, whether sa house o sa isang facility. Ngayon, pag-uusapan ho natin, ano nga ba ang mga requirements for you to be able to set up a ligtas COVID or what we're recommending to be called local isolation and general treatment areas for COVID-19 cases. All right? So, or ligtas COVID. By using the word ligtas COVID facility, we are actually doing a positive messaging, no? Kasi meron ho kami narinig na sa ibang mga munisipyo, ibang mga komunidad, na takot ang mga tao na ilagay sa isang quarantine facility. Kasi sinasabi nila, baka pag kinuha sila, hindi na sila makauwi, no? At mamatay sila. Similar to actually what happened to the Ebola case in Africa, no? So we try to make the messaging positive note. No? Kaya ligtas COVID ang we're recommending to use. So ano ang ligtas COVID facility? No? It's a community managed facility unit within the municipality, within the barangay, city, or province. It's up to you. No? Wherein yung kaninang binanggit natin ay pwedeng i-isolate to. On the minimum, there are 4 areas na kailangan meron ang ligtas COVID. No? It provides for basic room and board, a case management limited to symptomatic treatment, monitoring and prompt referral at the first sign of clinical deterioration, and discharge instructions for continued home care and follow-up. Now, to get into the details, meron pong 4 na areas pwede tayong tignan. Or the 4S framework na ginagamit actually from Health Emergency Management Bureau. No? Space, staff, supplies, and special services. For the space requirement po, no? Ang nire-recommend namin ay it could be a permanent or temporary structure. No? Ideally, enclosed structures, no? Na meron ng separate rooms. But of course, with the limitations in the different LGUs, we can innovate. No? As long as it is well ventilated, no? And that we are not combining the confirmed cases from the PUMs and PUI. Okay? And you can actually just cohort or put in one area all of those that are confirmed cases. Ito po yung mga listahan ng mga we are recommending na kailangan meron po dun sa ligtas COVID facility. Hindi ko na po isa-isa. Ito po ay ginawa po sa tulong ng Palafox architects, no? Na if you are going to convert in auditorium, an enclosed facility, no? In your municipality or in your barangay or in your city, no? Provinces, no? Ito. So kung titingnan ho natin, titingnan ho natin, no? Kung ito yung buong area mo, then you could just place different beds in the middle, no? Sorry. I think I have a better picture. No? Parang ganyan siya, no? Kung 3D, no? At ito yung may kulay, no? So that you can place them at yung in between po, pwede ho kasing itong temporary lang yung isang structure mo to. Hindi mo kailangan ito ay fixed, no? So pwedeng plywood or whatever, and then you do the curtains in between. No? So you have a treatment zone, you have the administrative zone, the patient egress ka, may public visitors area ka, no? And then your sanitation and areas for toilets. Right. Ito po ay picture from the Quezon City po, no, yung Hope facility nila, no. Ginawa. Alright. Of course, there are SOPs for now what you're gonna do inside the facility. In terms of staffing po, here are the followings that we are recommending. No? At least you need to have a local a COVID facility manager. So yung overall in charge of the facility. No? And coordinating with the human resources and facility from outside. And ito siya rin ang nag-coordinate with the bigger BHERTS officials and your local COVID task force. No? It doesn't have to be a healthcare workers. No? Of course, you need to have a dedicated sanitation officer inside to make sure that the infectious waste management of the facility is well followed. Healthcare workers could be midwives and PHWs, no? And we are suggesting just a ratio of 1 per 20 patients. No? Kasi again, your patients here should be able to do self-monitoring. No? And they would be given a self-monitoring sheet to which the health worker would be able to monitor on a daily basis. No? So daily monitoring and the presence of symptoms, looking at the presence of symptoms of the patients. A physician, we're also suggesting to have a physician, but that's not necessarily be the CHO or MHO, but it could also be a physician volunteer, no? Na pwede rin mag-teleconsult na lang. Hindi kailangan nandun siya 24/7. No? Pero on-call dapat siya 24/7, but not physically. No? And that's the one who approves admission, referral, and discharge of patients. And of course, you need your support staff. Again, these are minimum standard that we are recommending. If you have more resources, then why not? So, important reminder lang dito that if your healthcare worker becomes symptomatic, then kailangan niya mag-self-report agad and i-follow niya na yung PUI algorithm. Supplies and resources, hindi ko na po isa-isahin to, but just to say that more or less meron mga suggested requirements for the facility. No? And then a checklist for your sample PPEs. In terms of your special services, you have to think about the following. No? Visitation of patients. No? Ilagay natin yung sa picture na merong area. Because halimbawa may gusto magdala ng pagkain or bisitahin lang for psychosocial measure, no? Okay lang yon as long as you have an area dedicated to them and that there is a physical barrier in between. Of course, you make sure that you have your linkage for your psychosocial, emotional, spiritual support. And then think about the laundry and the food for the facility. The rest of the presentation deals with the following SOPs. No? Hindi ko na rin isa-isahin. I'll probably actually stop here. No? But to say that these are other SOPs that you have to make sure that you have, no? in running your COVID ligtas facility.